Probably wondering why my hair's like this. You ever hit the go live button on your stream and not the record button? Ah! You know, I've said this many times that I don't really get embarrassed very often, and it's true. However, not sponsored. If you watched any of my previous videos, I do certain stuff. I talk about how important it is to have a stream schedule. There's plenty of creators who do this stuff better, and I would recommend that you go check out their channels. People like Harris Heller, people like Gaming Careers. I think they're awesome streamers. I think they're awesome people. I think they make great content. So what am I here to tell you? I think the thing I can share with you guys the most is how to stay positive while you're doing it all, and not only how to stay positive, but how to look at things in a different light, because I think that's very important to staying positive. Now, when you clicked on this video, you were probably looking for some sort of announcement about like a Twitch streaming MMO, or maybe you kind of picked up on the metaphor I'm going for right away. And if you haven't yet, I'm not talking about like World of Warcraft. I'm not talking about any other traditional MMO, because there's other MMOs besides World of Warcraft. I'm talking about Twitch itself being some sort of MMO. I know it sounds weird. Don't tune out yet. Now, King Live, what are you talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You like my creaky chair? Oh, that's terrible. What is that? Okay, I'm excited to talk to you guys about this, because this is how I've thought about streaming for a while. I think it's very easy to look at Twitch and get discouraged with your statistics or your growth or any of all that jazz when you're thinking of it as a platform that you are trying to grow on. Yeah, that makes sense, right? When you're putting a lot of time into something and you're not getting a lot out of it, of course you're going to start feeling down. It's pretty natural. But I started doing this a while ago, where I started to think about Twitch kind of as a game. And like when you think about it, when I used to play World of Warcraft back in the day, I used to spend a lot of time playing that game. And we'll just say for the sake of it that I was starting out at level 1, no experience in the game, and I got into the game and I started leveling up. And as I leveled up, I learned new things, and I got to the point where I was max level maybe. And eventually your character gets stronger and stronger. Along the way, you can pick up like professions and stuff like that. You can learn how to blacksmith, you can learn how to leather work, you can learn how to enchant. I want to learn how to enchant in real life. That sounds pretty cool. Let's do that. Like, do you see where I'm going with this? I think if you go into Twitch and you don't think about it as if you're trying desperately to grow your platform, and you think of it as a game and this is part of the game. I'm popular. What can I say? When you're leveling in World of Warcraft and you hit like level 30, you don't suddenly go like, dang, I wish I was actually playing this game. It's like that's part of the game. You recognize it. You're having fun with it. It's part of the experience. And as you're leveling up, you're learning new things. And have you ever, on a game like that, received a boosted character? And not like boosted as in like you paid money. Well, I guess that's what boosted is. I don't know. You pay money on WoW, and they give you like a max level character. And they had this for the last like 3 expansions, 3 or 4. And when you first start playing that character, you have all these abilities that you don't really know what they do, and you don't really know how to use them effectively. And that's because you like learn that when you're leveling up the character. You figure out how all these things work, you do them one by one, and eventually you add them all together and they work together. Imagine if when you started streaming, you all of a sudden had 1,000 viewers on your first stream. You probably wouldn't be very good at talking to chat. You probably wouldn't be very entertaining. You probably wouldn't have very good lighting in your room. Your setup might not be very clean. You probably wouldn't know how to find the clips that you wanted for the stream. You probably wouldn't know how to use your Twitter account to inform people of like what's going on and interact with their network with people. I don't know how to talk. You get the point. You're starting at level 1 here. You have probably little to no experience in content creation, that is. And you need to figure it all out. But the problem is, and if you've watched any other people making videos on this, you need to do everything. If you really want to grow on the platform, you can't just do Twitch. You need to do YouTube, you need to do Twitter, you need to be doing Instagram, probably, all these other things. I recommend you learn how to edit thumbnails, I recommend that you learn how to create your own graphics. You're going to have to learn how to edit videos if you're doing YouTube. Like, there's all sorts of things that you got to do. Maybe you want to learn how to write. If you want to write any sort of interesting script. I actually don't write anything, which is why my videos aren't that well thought out. Now, if you're thinking about it in terms of this metaphor, you're probably thinking, well, this doesn't really help me at all. I'm kind of back in the same place. I think when you think about it as a game, it makes it a lot easier to take some of the hits. When you're not getting the viewership that you want to be getting, your thought process should be, well, how can I do this better? And not, God, I must just suck. Like, people do that when they play games too. I don't know. Maybe this is terrible. You get what I'm saying, though? When you're looking to improve in a game and you lose a match, you shouldn't just automatically think, man, maybe I'm just the worst player ever. Your thought should go to, well, how could I have played that game better? You should be doing this on League. You should be doing this on StarCraft or Apex or like whatever you're playing. If you lose a team fight in a battle royale game, don't think like, oh, well, we just got screwed. We got outplayed. The cards weren't in our hand. Is that the expression? I don't know. It was out of our control. That's what a lot of people say. You got to recognize that it's in your control. You are the one who needs to be taking action here if you want your stream to grow. And like I said, I'm not looking to be giving stream tips. I think that there's plenty of people out there who are already doing that. I just want to put a positive mindset in your guys' heads, because whenever I go onto platforms like Twitter and everything, you like the filler I've been using and everything. What I meant was, whenever I go onto platforms like Twitter, I see people posting all these like negative things about themselves and their stream, and that's just really not like it. You really shouldn't be talking about yourself in that light. It's really disappointing to hear from another person's standpoint, because there are people out there who really do care about you. There are people out there who really do like your stream. And when you come out and you say, man, I'm just trash, I will never be good at this, it's like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you tell yourself that you can't do it, the less likely you're going to be to do it. This isn't a tough love sort of thing. And the honest truth is, the only person that you are guaranteed to have on your side is you. So be on your own side. So maybe you're not starting out at level 1 right now. Maybe you're a level 50. Maybe you're a level 100. I don't know what the max level in our Twitch Streaming MMO is, but in the future, if you notice yourself struggling in an area, think, how do I level up that skill? Maybe you think your skill level for talking to people while they're in your stream is a little low. How are you going to go about fixing that? In an MMO, you might go grind. You might go have to kill a few monsters or something. I don't know, what? You might have to go talk to NPCs. I don't know. This is the Twitch Streaming MMO. The only way to do it is you're going to have to go practice. You're going to have to find a way to practice that. Maybe start commentating while you're offline. Maybe your skill is you're not very good at talking to the chat. You don't notice when people send messages right away, and there's plenty of streamers out there like that, and I encourage you to kind of look back at yourself and think, am I that person? I think that's one of my strongest skills as a streamer, is that I am always looking at the chat. Maybe the last thing that we could compare this to MMO. I don't think all streamers are created equal. There are different reasons that you watch every streamer, and that kind of touches on what I just said lastly. Lastly? Is that the way to phrase that? If we want to keep using our MMO metaphor, let's call it our class. What class are you playing on Twitch? Because this is going to be important for how you want to treat your stream. Now, if you're trying to be the pro gamer, that's cool. However, I do pose to you the question, why do you have to just be the pro gamer? Why can't you be good at games and also good at interacting with chat? I know it's more difficult to be both, but I just want to get people into the idea that people are not watching your stream for the game. And if you think that they are watching your stream for the game, just keep in mind there are thousands of other streamers they could be watching. Unless you're streaming some obscure game. Then there's probably not thousands. And honestly, like beyond that, do you really want people watching you for the game? I don't think there's a single streamer out there who's like, yeah, these guys are watching me because I'm a Fortnite streamer. That's awesome. It's like, no, these guys are watching me because I'm entertaining. These guys are watching me because they like me. So if you're the pro gamer, that's cool, but I would encourage you to find another class to fit into. Maybe you're the community guy, and that's kind of what I market myself as. I feel like my biggest strength as a streamer is just being able to be that guy who's friendly and inviting and encouraging, and I try to bring people together. I try to make people feel good. I could be funny sometimes, sure. I could be good at games sometimes, sure. But I think my main focus is that it's a community. I like people to feel welcome. I like people to feel like they're accepted, and this is a place where they can be safe, you know? Maybe you're the funny guy. Maybe you're just really hilarious. If you're the funny guy, you're probably going to want to be doing more things to bring out your humor. And what I would encourage these funny people to do is start creating a little bit more of a plan to your stream. This might sound really weird, but just because it's live doesn't mean that it has to all be improvised. And I'm not saying go be fake on Twitch, but I'm saying, like, when you watch a YouTube video, that is a dense amount of content that creator assembled to keep you entertained or keep you educated, I guess, in this case. I guess maybe it could be both. I'm funny sometimes. I think I'm giving myself too much credit. That's why when you click on a YouTube video, you'll stay the entire time because there's always something going on. A lot of the times when you click on a stream, there's not something going on, and that might be the situation where having something planned could go pretty well in your favor. When we do our podcast every Wednesday, that entire thing is planned. It's not scripted or anything, but we have the topics that we are going to talk about, and we try to keep you along with us as things are rolling. So, like, we'll have the first topic, and if the first topic starts to get stale, we move on to something different. This keeps the entire stream interesting. And in a society where a viewer will click on a stream and they'll watch it sometimes for like 30 seconds, and if they aren't intrigued, then they'll leave. You always want something interesting to be going on. You always want to keep people entertained. Whereas, like, if I'm the community guy, I probably want to spend more time in the just talking section of my stream where I can build that community. If I'm playing a game like that, I can kind of, like, it does a little bit of it, but like I said previously, people aren't there for the game. People are there for me. People are there to feel that sense of community. Another solid way that you can build community is doing viewer games, getting your friends into the game because they are your friends. These are the people that you're spending a lot of time with on the daily, and if your stream isn't anything massive, you probably know these people by name, you probably know where they work, you probably know where they live, and you probably know a lot about these people. These people are kind of your friends. And then the best part of MMOs, if you've ever played one, in my opinion anyway, if you want to do any of the end game, it's important to have a guild. Now, your stream is your guild, and you are trying to build it up. There are plenty of people looking for guilds. It's your job to go and find them. You want to do endgame content. Are you waiting around for these people to come join your guild, or are you going to go find them yourselves so you can do that endgame content? If I'm losing you on the metaphor, don't wait for people to come and find your stream because it's probably not going to happen. You need to go out and you need to get them yourselves. This means that you need to be actively posting more content and you need to be actively engaging with other people's content. Nobody ever just starts playing an MMO and they end up at max level. It takes time to do these things, and over time you start to know the differences. You start to notice how your abilities are adding up and comboing together. You start to notice how to build these groups. You start to notice how to level your professions. You start to learn all of these things over time, and the more time you put into MMO, more time you put into MMO, the more you're going to get out of it. And anyone who's played one knows that. These games are very grindy. Twitch is very grindy. Takes time. And you probably spent like 10 minutes watching this video now. So go get your butt out there and do stuff. Don't worry. I'll be here. If you guys are interested in watching me stream, I stream every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/thekinglive. And we also have a freaking awesome Discord community if you're looking for some awesome creators to hang out with. All of the links will be in the description below. Also, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is this an interesting way to think of it? Have you ever thought about it in this sort of light? Did I get my point across? I feel like I get kind of rambly sometimes in these videos, and it's really not what I'm trying to do. I don't know if anyone else's brain kind of does this, but my brain's always like, here's a thought, here's a thought, here's a thought, and it just keeps like bouncing all over the place. So when I make these videos, I really try to connect it to the point, but I don't know. That's why I need your guys' feedback. And what class do you guys think you fit into? I'll see you guys later. Peace. Isn't that kind of racist? Like, people select dogs specifically because of the breed. Isn't that like a little racist? Like, at least a little?